Okay, League Makes Week 2 is in the book. I got your recap here. I know you've been waiting for it. I'm going to give you what you want. Here it comes. So Reese beat me, basically behind 66 points at Lamar Jackson and the Patriots defense. It's going to be interesting when Lamar Jackson gets to stop playing these Division II college defenses and has to play a real NFL defense, what he's actually capable of, because we really don't know what Lamar Jackson can do. These receivers have just been running wide open, completely uncovered. These teams have no interest in playing defense against the Ravens the first couple weeks. And the Dolphins should basically be ashamed of themselves for that horrendous performance. I mean, for a lot of things, really. But I don't care if it is the Patriots. Losing 43-0 at home is absolutely unacceptable. If their fans had any shred of dignity or self-respect, they'd pick a new team. The Dolphins don't give a crap about you. It's obvious. You need to move on. Pick a different team because the Dolphins don't care about the fan base. I mean, they let somebody march into their home stadium, and that's not the last time this is going to happen this year either. They're going to lose by 40 at home again. So 43-0 at home, I don't care who it is. You just can't allow that. So I don't know how you can, in good faith, root for the Dolphins. That's it for my recap with Reese. There's really nothing else to say. Tony Jr., who has, again, the dumbest team name in the league, Bell Ertz my ears. Just because you have those two guys on your team, that doesn't even make any sense. So you're saying these guys hurt your own team? Like you just don't like having them? They give you a headache or something? I can understand that because they're both underachievers. Now, all I heard, speaking of underachievers, all I heard last week from Tony Jr. is that Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in fantasy. Wouldn't even entertain a Dalvin Cook plus something else offer for CMC, said it was insulting. Doesn't really look that bad now, does it? I would absolutely not give up Dalvin Cook for Christian McCaffrey right now. If you ask nicely, I might accept McCaffrey and Bell for Dalvin Cook, if you ask nicely. I also told Tony Jr. sell high on Josh Jacobs, but Matthew Berry likes him, so, Tony knew better than me on that one. Now, granted, he got 99 yards on only 12 carries, but when you factor in that 51 of those yards came on one basically busted play, and this was at home against the Kansas City Chiefs, whose defense is, at the very least, we'll say generous to opposing running backs. Jacobs does not look like a great investment. He just doesn't. He's somebody you probably could have sold really high last week. Not so much this week. I don't know how you lose to a team that didn't even have a first-round pick. I mean, Steve won this game basically because Reese traded him Sony Michel and Brandon Cooks. Without that deal, Steve doesn't win. Reese, once again, looking out for his good buddy on the down low. I really do think those two are kind of in cahoots a little bit, just on the DL. It always seems that Reese finds a way to help Steve every single season. So Jared Goff sucks, should not be rostered, terrible quarterback. If you're going to make a trade with Steve, do it like I do. I trade him Devin Singletary. He promptly gets hurt. That's how it's done, guys. That's how you make deals with Steve. You trade him guys that are about to get hurt. I don't understand what's so complicated about that. Mason Crosby is a fantasy albatross. They don't kick field goals. Just move on. Just move on. Legion of Zoom eats cake magic. Just absolutely eats cake magic. Jalen Ramsey shut down Nuke Hopkins and then promptly requested a trade. Bears, if for some reason you're one of the 8-9 viewers that see this, anybody on the Bears, please go get Jalen Ramsey. That would be fantastic. Go get him. Jared, he was in love with Kamara last week, and rightfully so. Kamara was coming off of, 169 yards, I think, all purpose. Didn't get into the end zone week 1, but, he looked like Alvin Kamara. Now Breeze going down. Kamara's value got shot in the face point blank with a double barrel shotgun. He mustered up 60 total yards against a Rams team that got gashed by Christian McCaffrey for over 200 yards the week before. Yes, that same Christian McCaffrey that got throttled by the lowly Buccaneers this week gashed this defense for over 200 yards. Kamara does not, the prospects don't look great with Breeze out. Does not look good. That brings me to my next point. At the beginning of the year, you would have thought Kamara Connor, if I can leave the draft with that, I'd be super hyped. But Jared has, bar none, the worst running back situation in the league. James Conner being hurt may actually help him because he'll stop playing that loser. James Conner sucks. He's a useless turd. Shouldn't even – I don't know what you were thinking with that deal, but who could have predicted Delanie Walker wasn't a usable tight end? Certainly not Jared or Jason, who both deemed him a legit TE1 after one decent game. Delanie Walker's safe to cut. He's 1,000 years old, and he is no Frank Gore. He is showing his age. Senior has basically Mahomes and Kelsey, and that's really it. They went off. They went off. They had a monster game, and Senior finished with 97 points. Not exactly scary moving forward. Congrats on the W. You're not likely to be seeing a whole lot of them for the rest of this season. Joe beats Jason. I got to say, I didn't see this one coming at all. I believed in Baker Mayfield. I thought he was going to have a big Monday night. It's basically been a perfect storm of crap for Jason. Breeze got hurt. That drops Michael Thomas's value. The Patriots sign a known sex offender. Edelman drops in value. Mixon's trying to play through injury behind a horrible offensive line, and they've gone to more of a pass-first system. So he's not what we thought he would be. Austin Hooper never really was a fantasy option. Don't know what you're doing with him. Tevin Coleman got hurt immediately. Yikes, man. I don't know what else to say. Most of this is not self-inflicted. This is just Jason's got some bad luck this year. I don't know what to say. Joe's team is basically a smelly trash heap. It's riddled with overrated players. Nick Chubb looked awful against the Jets outside of one run. Joe's going to be trying to move him this week. We'll see. I don't know if I would pay top freight for Nick Chubb. He's got a brutal schedule moving forward. Kareem Hunt's impending return. Don't love it. Now, probably should have sold Chubb last week, to be honest, when you were getting a bunch of offers for him. I didn't make any offers for Chubb because I actually don't really believe in him for this season. But, some people tried. Joe wasn't interested. We'll see how it plays out. Carson Wentz looks bad. I mean, really bad. 14 points against the Falcons. The Falcons. If I'm not mistaken, they were the most generous defense to the opposing quarterback in the league last season. Not a great look, man. That's rough. Look, Joe, I don't know what I got to do to get Devontae Adams. Just send him over to me and we can move on. I'm done with this crap. Just send me him. Betchery ekes out a win over Brad. First and foremost, I applaud Brad, and I think the league should all applaud Brad for benching Antonio Brown, doing what the Patriots didn't have the integrity to do, and benching Antonio Brown, thus keeping the curse firmly on Jared's shoulders. That was a move that showed a lot of integrity. That was good, Brad. To be fair, though, AB looked like a pile of dog crap. It took him eight targets to get 54 yards. This is against the Miami Dolphins. This is not against Jalen Ramsey and the Jags. This is not against Kyle Fuller and the Bears. This is against God knows who on the Miami Dolphins. 8 targets for 54 yards. I mean, AB is not a guy that looks like he's the same receiver at all. I don't think he fits their offense very well. He's an improvised wideout, and they're more of a set system, be where you're supposed to be type of thing. I do not expect AB to thrive in New England. In fact, he's probably not going to be in the NFL after this week because of all the other allegations that are coming out. The good news in that game, however, is that Snowflake the Dolphin was not harmed at halftime. The Dolphins committed extra security to keep AB from committing another non-consensual sexual act on Snowflake the Dolphin, because that's what they heard was going to happen. John basically won this with a monster performance from Aaron Jones. Austin Eckler is the number one running back in fantasy through 2 weeks, but he has already fumbled at the goal line twice this season. That is a situation to monitor. Justin Jackson could be taking on that red zone role full time. Would not surprise me one bit. Quite frankly, Justin Jackson has looked like the better running back if you've watched the games. He's a better player than Austin Eckler. It's a system thing. As I've said for years, Melvin Gordon's not a good running back. It's just the Chargers have a great fantasy-friendly system for running backs. Anybody can get it done there. David Njoku is safe to cut. He's hurt. He wasn't a good option even when he wasn't hurt. Speaking of safe to drop, is there a worse running back? And I'm posing this question to you guys. You let me know. Is there a worse running back in the entire NFL than David Johnson? I mean, is Eddie Lacy still out there? It'd be close between Eddie Lacy and David Johnson. I'm going to go with no, but you guys let me know what you think. So congrats, John. You're 2-0. You're at the top of the league. This has happened before where you started out hot, but we all know you're not going to improve your team. So by the end of the year, you're just going to be middle of the pack. I mean, you're definitely going to lose Eckler at some point. You'll be middle of the pack by season's end. So that's all I got for you guys. I will see you guys on Thursday for the matchup previews.